dinner time.
It's ravioli.
So do the children normally eat with their hands, even though they've got cutlery?
Yes. I'll get your water, honey.
No,
Jesse, sit down.
Sit down, honey.
Meal times are just hellacious for me. If we could all sit down at a meal and stay seated for 10 minutes without outbursts, that would be a huge thing for me. Jesse, sit down. Andra, get out. Sit down, sit down. Well, I want you to sit down.
Mum and Dad were just trying to keep the children at the table, and if I was David and Barbara, I would have had indigestion. It was making me dizzy just to watch them. It was just feeding time at the zoo, I think you can say, to be honest.
No, don't get it.
Hey.
And I don't want that. It's not good.
Oh, God almighty.
It's not cool.
Dinner time was ridiculous. Andra made a big fuss about not having the sippy cup that she wanted.
What's
They're
wrong?
both cold. Do you want it warm?
You want this one warmed up?
And I want that one. No, I want.
Andra was not letting up. That kind of behaviour is a no-no in my book.
Andra, go back and sit down. Go back and sit down.
It's mine. It's mine.
This one?
No.
Andy.
I want it.
What is
You want to go to your room?
about the cup?
I want that cup.
Come on, let's go to the
I
room.
want that cup.
Come on.
And I don't want it.
This child has got too much leeway. She has tantrums that the parents tolerate. It's just disgusting. It needs to change. When I'm observing in the Jean household, I take mental notes of how the family dynamics work, and then later on in the evening, we sit down and discuss the issues that need to be addressed. OK, I've made some mental notes of your wonderful family, and I would love for us to sit down and have a talk about what I've seen today.
Okay.
OK.
Alrighty.
Let's
Go
go do that
downstairs.
then. OK.
When Jo said that she was going to talk to us about what she had seen, my first thought was, uh-oh. You know, I was a little bit nervous.
Let me begin by saying to the pair of you how proud you must be as parents to have 3 beautiful daughters. And so on that note, I'd like to talk about the pair of you raising your 3 girls and what I have seen. And the first thing that comes to mind when I walked into the house was organisation.
Or lack thereof.
Very much so. It's very chaotic. We don't know where anything is, and it causes a lot of wasted time. Also, I'd like to talk about the routine that you have in this house. It's definitely unstructured. When there isn't a routine in a house, your children don't know what's happening or what's coming next. All 3 of them then get really bored. What it allows the children to do is misbehave for your attention. Andra behaves in a way that I find disrespectful. She shouts and she yells. Andra, in the back of the car, crying, was absolutely mayhem. How do you focus and concentrate driving a car when you've got the kids screaming and having a tantrum in the back? But not once did I hear you turn around and say, stop that behaviour. Today I saw classic at dinner time. Andra wanting that sippy cup. And what happened was, she had a tantrum. And when she throws a bone, you guys go and fetch. Andra's behaviour with Jessie and Leah has got to stop. The snatching, the aggressiveness, that has to stop. And what's happening is Jessie's learning. Jessie is copying, and the pair of you are not enforcing any form of discipline. You know, you have to get a grip on that. Their behaviour is not acceptable. And the only 2 people that is putting up with that is the pair of you. You're tolerating it, you're putting up with it, and then you're wondering why your children are behaving the way they are. And as a result of all of this, I see a tired Barbara. I see a Barbara who's emotionally drained, that actually inside wants to be able to be Barbara and not mum 24/7.
I'm pretty exhausted and spent, and for somebody to recognize that, that was a little emotional for me.
Barbara's been exhausted since the birth of the kids. She is exhausted. It's a hard job.
It was hard to hear that Andra's behavior in particular is so over the top and completely unacceptable.
I see the pair of you at a point where I feel is quite desperate. Tomorrow, we are going to change it for the better, and we're going to have positive results all the way around so that your family is functioning a lot better.
I wonder if Supernanny can pull it off, really, because that has been my big question.
My first fear is, well, maybe she'll give us these things, and what if they don't work?
Today, when I walked into the house, wanting change drastically, I put a routine on the wall. Okay, this is a routine because your house needs organisation, because we can't find anything anywhere, and there's no structure to the day. I've broken the whole day down for Barbara so that she knows what she's going to do with her girls during the day. And at 4 to 5, we're going to do an hour of constructive play with the girls, so they have something to look forward to in the afternoon. The routine being structured with organised activities is really going to help the girls so that they're not bored, so that they don't play up and misbehave.
If we even got some semblance of organization, I think it would really help.
I've been chronically disorganized my whole life, but I'm definitely confident about my ability to make that happen.
So this is the routine, out with the old, in with the new, and let's get started. The behaviour that I want to eliminate in the house is the yelling, the shouting, the tantrums, the aggression, the kicking, the biting, and that's why the next thing that I introduced into the house was a discipline technique. I don't want you girls to shout at your mummy and daddy anymore, to be rude like this. I don't want to do it no more. Yes, Jessie. Yes. And if you don't listen, mummy is going to put you on the naughty stool. I'm going to explain to you now the discipline of the naughty stool, okay? I want you to come down, literally, to their level. Give them eye contact, and I want you to use a low-toned voice, okay? You give your children a warning first to stop the behaviour. If they carry on, I want you then to walk them over and place them on their stool and say to them, you're going to stay there now until I come and get you, and you walk away.
I'm not looking forward to experiencing some of the naughty stool episodes with Andra, because she's a fighter.
David spends a lot of time away on business, so that means that Barbara has to deal with all 3 girls, and the responsibility is solely on Barbara. It wasn't long before Andra started yelling and shouting at Mum. She really tests Barbara.
No, you may not decide for them. Excuse me.
Tell her to stop shouting at you. Every time
You
she
may not
addresses you...
shout at me like that. That is not acceptable. You shout at me again, and you're going on the naughty stool. All right.
Right, on.
There you go.
On. It's not a game. This is not a game.
It's not a game. Come on,
on the
go to
naughty stool.
You sit in the naughty stool until I tell you that it's okay to get up. Do you understand me?
Tell her to look at you. Andra? Andra?
Andy?
Sit down. Firm voice, Barbara. Sit down and you'll stay there because you were being very rude to Mummy. Now you stay here on the stool until Mummy comes and gets you, because that behaviour is not acceptable and it's not a game. Okay? Just ignore that.
Sit down.
Don't lose hope with Andra. I know that she's testing you more than the younger girls have. It's all about repetition and following through and being consistent with discipline. After giving them their minutes, she's then to come back and to explain why they were put on the naughty stool and then to ask for an apology.
You were sitting on this stool because you were shouting at Mommy and you were very rude to Mommy, and I am not going to tolerate that anymore.
She tested Mum on every level, and eventually Andrew got the message.
This is where you're going to be if you do that again. Do you understand?
I won't.
And I want an apology.
Sorry.
Okay.
What I wanted to do was decrease the amount of aggression in Andra. Andra needs to be taught that she has 2 other sisters in her family that she has to share with. So I brought in a shopping game for Mummy to play with all 3 girls. Andra, Leah, Jessie, we're going to play shops today. There were 2 shopping carts, 1 cash register, and Mum had to decide who was playing what role. I think it would probably be a very good idea if Leah or Jessie was the cashier first. I encouraged Barbara to make sure that Andra wasn't the cashier that she wanted to be, because Andra always wants to get her own way, and it's important that Andra realises that she can't get her way all the time.
Okay, honey, we're all going to rotate.
My money.
Okay.
No, I'm being
No, Andra, first Jessie's going to be the cashier.
No, I don't want it.
Well, Andra, we're going to rotate. We're all going to rotate.
Jessie, you're the cashier, okay?
So you can be just like the cashier at the store.
No, I am it.
Hey, you don't shout at your sister.
No, it's my turn. I want to be it.
Address that manner, Barbara. That has got to stop.
So what do I say?
So call her over to you. Say to her, do not talk to me like that.
Andra, you need to look at me. I don't want you to shout. Andra!
Bring her away from the toy.
Come here, Andra.
Look
No.
what Leah did. She took my pen.
Andra, Mommy, stop right now. Mommy is trying to talk to you. Andra,
Call her over. Keep calm, Barbara.
Andra.
You're in control. Keep calm. Keep calm. Bring her over to you.
Andy, Mommy's trying to talk to you. When I'm trying to talk to you, I need you to listen to me.
Barbara's really struggling. Andra was totally disrespectful towards Barbara. I had to address the situation myself. That behaviour is no good, and that behaviour will make you go and sit on that naughty stool. You've got to learn just to talk and ask Mummy. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Now if you go and play.
When Andra was pulled aside and Joe was talking to her, it was very difficult. I've never really seen her face look like it looked.
Andra does need to have respect for her mother, and Barbara needs to make sure that Andra knows exactly who's in charge.